I really, really love this watch. This is my Tudor Black Bay Pro. I've owned it for 6 months or so, maybe a little bit more than that now, and I love this watch, but it's not perfect. And so these are about 6 months of my thoughts on the Tudor Black Bay Pro. Some of you probably clicked on this title, and you already know exactly what I'm gonna say. It's too thick. It is chunky.
It is completely unwearable for anybody's wrists.
And unless you have gotten to try on the Black Bay Pro yourself, or you have tried it on and you only want watches that are 10 millimeters thinner and under, you come to realize that it's actually a very wearable thickness. Supposedly this watch is 14.6 millimeters thick, and I don't have any calipers to be able to confirm that measurement. But wearing this watch on and off for 6 months, here's where I'm at with the thickness. Is this watch thick? Yes. Is this watch too thick? No. Keep in mind, I have tiny little baby wrists. They're 6.5 inches. And on my 6.5 inch wrist, it does feel like a substantial watch, but it doesn't feel like a chunky big watch. When I look down at my wrist, I don't say, oh, yeah, that's way too thick, I'm wearing a chunker. I just say to myself, oh, it'd be cool if it was a little bit thinner, but it's not bad. That's kind of the main reason why I wanted to even make this video, was just specifically to address that aspect of this watch. Anytime I've talked to anyone that is in like the watch realm about the Black Bay Pro, the first point that is always brought up is,
how do you like the thickness?
Anyone who's asked me about the watch I'm wearing and they know the Black Bay Pro, first thing they always ask about is the thickness. And so for those of you who have not had the opportunity to see this watch in person, don't cast your judgment until you have gotten to see it in the metal. There is such a difference between pictures online on paper versus actually in your hands in the metal in person. Let me tell you what I am hyped about though. Watches and Wonders 2024 just happened or is currently happening this week, and they dropped a new watch, and that's not what I'm excited about. They dropped the Black Bay 58 GMT. It is a GMT watch in the case of the Black Bay 58, but just a tiny hair thicker. But why am I so excited about this whole watch? The movement. And here's why I'm excited about the movement. Going back over everything I did say, this watch is still not too thick, but it is still thick. But this new movement means, this is just Caden speculation, but I have a feeling that this is gonna happen. We're gonna get, at some point in the next 3 to 5 years, hopefully way less than that, a new Black Bay Pro updated that it has that movement. I think it's the MT54 whatever U, which means we're gonna get a just under 13 millimeter thick Black Bay Pro. Is this confirmed? Of course not. But I'm telling you, this is my prediction right now. We are going to be getting an updated Black Bay Pro with the new movement found in the Black Bay 58 GMT. Both watches are 39 millimeters. This one 14.6 millimeter thick. New Black Bay GMT 12.8. So we will be taking almost 2 millimeters off of the thickness, making it, if my memory serves me correct, just a hair thicker than the Rolex GMT Master 2. If this watch does come out in the future, I could see myself parting with this to get the thinner watch, as honestly, that is my only thing that makes this watch not perfect in my eyes, is the thickness. So I absolutely understand why the thickness is talked about so much when you're talking about the Black Bay Pro. To me, it's only because that is the one thing that would make this watch a perfect watch. And now with the new movement that Tudor has just announced, I think we might be getting it. Since I've last talked about my Tudor Black Bay Pro, I also went to my AD and I got the Black Bay Pro stock bracelet that comes with the amazing T-fit clasp. And it is just a complete game changer for this watch. I used to wear it on an Uncle Straps, the President bracelet for the Black Bay Pro, and I did like it. It felt good. It was finished all right. It didn't have on-the-fly adjustment, but it had enough micro adjustment to where you could get a good fit. And it was a good bracelet. But getting a T-fit clasp bracelet just has completely changed my thoughts on this watch. My Omega Seamaster, if you can recall from one of my previous videos on it, that watch is what I call my baby. It is the only watch that if I had to keep one that I would keep. But this watch, it's just so high up there that it's only literally one hair underneath my Omega. This watch is freaking amazing. Here are some things that I love about my Black Bay Pro. The handset on this watch and the dial and the indices, everything you see on the dial is completely matte. So there is no reflections from the sun when you're looking at this watch, making legibility super, super high. There's no disgusting, ugly Cyclops that would be on the Explorer 2, for example. So someone like me with normal human eyes can still see the date without having a big ugly blob on the crystal. On the bezel that has the 24-hour markings, there's a slight polished chamfer on the edge, very similar to the 126-500 LN Daytonas. This is a weird detail to love, but I love this detail about this watch. When the sun hits it, it gets just this slight reflective glare off of it, making this watch pop just that little bit more. I love that the font that they used for the date wheel is Helvetica. Helvetica is my favorite font, and the fact that they used it makes me have a weird kind of attachment to this watch, being that they used my favorite font. They also used my least favorite font, Arial, to show the 200 meters resistance. All the lettering on the bottom half of the dial is Arial, which is my least favorite font. So I don't like that. I love the lume on this watch. At nighttime, no matter what lighting conditions, I can always tell what the time is. In pitch black, in dimly lit, obviously in brightly lit. This watch is extremely legible, and that is one of the things that I'm currently, in terms of watches, super into at the moment. And of course, last but not least, I love the bracelet. If you're going to get a Black Bay Pro, you have to get it on the bracelet. There's no other way to have it, in my opinion, that does it its full justice. The T-fit clasp, the finishing of the bracelet, the way the oyster style bracelet looks on this watch. Money. Next, let's talk about accuracy. I don't know how many of you are accuracy freaks or really care about how well your watch is performing in terms of accuracy, but I am one of those people. I haven't written it down or kind of given like a solid evidence as to how this is performing. There's two things that I know about this watch. When the crown is in the up position, it loses no time / loses a little bit of time. So when I'm done wearing this watch, if I put it in the watch winder with the crown facing up, it kind of starts to slow down the time a little bit. So if you average the whole accuracy from on the wrist, in the winder position, and like all of the various positions, this watch in a month's time averages just under 1/4 of a second a day. So that's like the average number. But how this watch actually performs, if I put the watch on in the morning and I check the time at the end of the day, it will gain between 1 to 2 to 2.5 seconds, kind of depending on the day. If I put it in the watch winder crowned up for a day or 2 days, however long I don't wear it, it starts to slow down and kind of even that time out a little bit more. So this watch is insanely accurate when you take those things into consideration. The main reason why I picked up this watch in the first place was just because I love the brand Tudor, and I wanted one of their watches to like support the brand, just to show my love for the brand, because I love their brand. And out of all their watches, the Black Bay Pro is the most enticing to me. And over 6 months time, I freaking love this watch. I think in the current Tudor collection, it is still my favorite until that new Black Bay Pro comes out. And I think you really gotta see it in the flesh and put it on your wrist before you make any judgments about the thickness. But I just wanted to hop on here again, make this quick little 6-month review type video on my Black Bay Pro. I just love this watch and it's so good. And thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one.